Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Remember, you have greatness inside of you. Welcome back to another post game, game number 29 for the Montreal Canadiens this season. Yes, again, they lost. This is the 21 time since they play this season. They score only less of 3 goals. 0 goal, 1 goal, or 2 goals, and this was the 21 time, and they lost by a score of 4-1. Again, the St. Louis Blues. This is also the 20th time they lost on the regular time during this season. So not a really great turnover again for the Montreal Canadiens. So I'm going to give you all the information you need to know what's happening between the Blues and the Montreal Canadiens. Don't go nowhere. But before we start, we invite you, don't forget to subscribe on the Hockey Nation Live show on Facebook page and on the YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please click on the like, that will helping us. And finally, we want to tell us what you think about the performance on Montreal Canadiens yesterday against the St. Louis Blues. They lost by a score of 4-1. Let's dive in and give you all the information you need to know what's happening between the Blues and the Montreal Canadiens. First of all, we'll start with the score sheet. During the first period, right away at the beginning of the game, the St. Louis Blues scored the first goal at 1:03 after a shot at Buchnevich. He took his own rebound. He scored between the 5-0 of Jake Allen to give the lead 1-0 for the Blues. He was his 11th goal of the season. Tarasenko and O'Reilly have an assist on that one over there. And again, Montreal they gave for the 19th time this season a first goal of the game for the opponent team, and they always chasing the puck, the score, and that's not good when you think about that. Very quiet after that during the rest of the period, guys. Montreal shot only 6 times. The Blues shot 12 times. They have maybe 3 other opportunities. What Allen had to make a big save to keep Montreal in the game, but no penalties during the first 20 minutes. I was not very excited after 20 minutes. The score 1-0 for the Blues. During the second period, at that moment, just want to remind you, the Montreal Canadiens shot their first shot on the net at 9:48. Before that, 0 shot, and the Blues have 8 shots. And they open up another goal at 8:52. The 4 line, Joshua Brown and Pika find a way to score after a great move for the back to the right for Joshua scored his first goal of the season this year and gave the lead 2-0 for the Blues. Brown and Picard have again an assist, like I mentioned to you. And that way, the Blues completely, at that moment, dominate for the rest of the game. Never have no worry about the Montreal to come back and to beat them, to be honest with you. The St. Louis did not capitalize on the first penalty for Montreal. One Cole Caulfield, one to penalty box for slashing, but they took advantage the second penalty during the Michael Becerra because they scored the 3rd goal of the game, another of the first of the 2 on power play. At 15:20, Barpachev scored his 10th of the season. Tarasenko and Buchnevich have an assist on that one over there. We know the Blues have one of the best power play in NHL, 3rd right now, ranking at 28.4 before the game start. And after 40 minutes, guys, it was 3-0, and that way I have no chance Montreal to come back. Only 6 shots again for the Montreal during the second period, 11 for the St. Louis. It was 23-12 after 40 minutes for the shot. And Montreal have no power play at that moment, and the Blues have 2 power play and 1 goal. During the third period at the beginning, again, maybe one of the most consistency players for the Montreal Canadiens, Alexander Romanov, scored his 2nd goal of the season with a great wrist shot. Dauphin and Poland got their first assist this year with the Montreal Canadiens at 1:57. It was 3-1. A little bit, maybe some hope. Montreal played a better period overall during the 3rd period, but not good enough to beat the Montreal. Lindgren make a couple of great saves. Honestly, during the first power play, Montreal that did not capitalize on that one over there. Not many chance. The power play struggled since the beginning of the season, we know already. And then they went back on the penalty box and they gave another power play and they took advantage. The Blues have scored at 10-16. The defenseman, Tony Crook, score on the one a slap shot for the blue line. Score his fourth of the year. O'Reilly and Brown got another assist. Both of them have a 2-point yesterday, and that way was the final score of the game for the score sheet. And nothing else after that, to be honest with you. The shot was 14, the St. Louis Blues, and 11 during the third period. And that's the way Montreal lost their 20th time of the season. Let's dive in a little bit more about the number. The shot 37-23 advantage the Blues. 50-50 guys on the face-off. 0-1 on power play for the Montreal. 2-3 for the Blues. So that's make a big strength for the special team. They hit 35, Montreal 16 only for the Blues. 2-minute penalty for the Blues. A 4-minute, 6-minute for the Montreal Canadiens. The block shot 8, Montreal 6 for the St. Louis Blues. And finally 8 gave away by the Montreal Canadiens and 4 for the Blues. For the most point for the Blues, we have Tarasenko, O'Reilly, and Logan Brown with 2 points each. Barbashev shot 4 times on Jake Allen yesterday. Parenko played the most minute with 21-45, and Lindgren stopped 22 or 23 shot he faced for the 9-5-7. On the flip side, Dauphin, honestly, with Romanov and Poland have 1 point each. Cole Caulfield shoot 4 times on the Lindgren, and Ben Sherratt played 23-35 during the game. And finally, Jake Allen stopped 33 of the 37 shot he faced for the save percentage of 8-9-2. So let's give you the third star of the game. For this game is the third star, Dakota Joshua. Have a 1 goal yesterday. We had Torrey Kruk play over 20 minutes and have 1 goal on power play. And finally, the first star, Charlie Lindgren, stopped 22 of the 23 puck he faced yesterday. Great performance, the ex-Montreal Canadien, Charlie Lindgren. Now, Frenchy Corner, what you need to know a little bit more deeper from Coach, what you think about his overview about this game. Montreal lost by a score 4-1. Almost 20 players out for this game, guys, for both teams. Montreal 12-8 for the St. Louis Blues. Both teams have some problem with injuries. And Montreal, guys, they're missing right now Gallagher, Dvorak, Anderson. Now 240 for 8 weeks. We have Jake Evan, Paul Biron, Joel Edmondson, Jeff Petrie, Shea Weber, and Carey Price. On the flip side, another thing, they're missing a couple of pieces of the puzzle. Maybe not the major player, or the effect David Perron and Robert Thomas, but they're still missing a couple of. They don't have their goaltender right now. Uso and Bennington are out at that moment. Just give you an idea. Also, that team is have some problem with the injuries, but he won the 3 games this week for them. So overall, they turn around to be good for because the performance of Charlie Lindgren. 20 lost in the season already for the Montreal and 29 game only. It's going to be an ugly season. Be honest with you, whatever you are good fans like I am, we encourage, we stay positive. It's going to be a really long season, obviously, for the Montreal Canadiens. First goal, first minute. This is not the first time they gave a goal at the beginning of the game. We said to you, let's talk about the first 5 minutes of the game. Montreal constantly gave that goal, and they're always chasing the score. And this is not good. When you don't have a lot of offensive like Montreal, and you have to chasing the score, it just completely changed the strategy and the system for the coach. And more on the road, that's not good. And that's the reason why Montreal struggled this year, also giving all the time the first goal of the game, and usually at the first 5 minutes of the game. Allen Romanov are consistent. What I want to tell you, my friend, is Jake Allen said he got hurt. He came back after his first game. Saying that he's doing very well between the Montreal Canadiens. You cannot blame him for all the loss they got. They did not win the last 6 games at that moment. They are 0-5-1, and you cannot tell Jake because of Jake Allen. Barely he gave a bad goal, but he's by himself right now. He's fighting this war by himself. You cannot be complain about his performance. Also, Alexei Romanov, I know he made a mistake the last game. He gave away the puck on the blank side, right? But it's part of growing as defensemen. I'll be honest with you, Romanov is maybe the most player with the most improvement this season in my eyes compared for last season. We know Rand Poland now is getting inside the team, but for me, Romanov guy is really showing to us he's a top 4 defenseman in Montreal. At that moment, he showed again offense, a little bit more offense yesterday, and we have to give him credit for where his performance. He was healthy scratch during the season at some point. Blues just better. You can see the O'Reilly, Chen, Buchnevich, Tarasenko, Kiro, Tony Krug, Parenko. Those veterans show up yesterday and they give that W, the veterans for the Blues, again in Montreal, where they are really not strong enough with skill and talent overall to compete night after night right now in NHL, unfortunately. And they did enough, the Blues, to get that W. And the reason they did is on special team. They got 2 goals on 3 attempts, and that's making difference. And we think about the score 4-1. So congrats for the Blues. Montreal, let's play young players. And I agree with that. I think, Sean, let's play the young. They learn about this, the Yellowman, the Poland, the Suzuki, the Caulfield, the Romanov, and Glagu, where it's not big right now, but let them learning, let them to, figure out what it takes to stay in the NHL between that. So for me, as Montreal right now, that's what I will do. Norlander situation now. I'm going to come in with a video today with Romanov and Norlander, but Norlander situation is really strange. Today, this is the last game with Laval at some point. Montreal and him have to take his decision now. How he's going to be back in Sweden and Montreal, or come back with the Canadian, or stay Laval. That would be really interesting to see the decision of Montreal Canadiens, and also how Norlander is going to react. We know he wants to come back in Sweden. He wants to play hockey, and I think that's the best way maybe for him. So it'll be interesting to follow up with the Montreal Canadiens. Let's dive in a little bit more to tell you what happening during that game also. This is the start card for each players on the positive or the negative with the XGA, XGF, the chance, the block, everything like that. And Romanov, Paquette, Hoffman, Peseda was the best player yesterday with Nusinski and Whiteman. The rest of the team was a negative. But again, when you give 2 goals on power play, very difficult to win those kind of games. For the Montreal Canadiens, yesterday, the prospect did not play a lot. Some of them are right now at the Team Canada Junior, like Cooley is over there. So you cannot have no result. But not a great performance yesterday. Very surprised me, Zach. They win 8-3 at 0 point, -2, a very bad game for him. Kidney and Trudeau have 1 point during the time they win the game, but the rest of the players play with the Montreal Canadiens. Glad to see Caulfield play 60 minutes and put in 13 minutes, and also Ilonen 11 minutes. That's what I'm looking for the Montreal Canadiens to do that. And finally, the next game, Montreal back at home Tuesday against the Pittsburgh Penguins. They win yesterday 1-0 against Anaheim Ducks. Everything looking great for the Pittsburgh. I think they win the last 4 games, and without Malkin, they consist to win, and then going back and the ranking and the Metropolitan Division. So, guys, this is the game number 29. Montreal are now 6-20-3. And that's conclude another post game for the Hockey National Show with the hockey coach, Guru Coach Frenchy. But before we leave, we remind you, don't forget to subscribe. Please click on the likes and tell us what you think about the performance of Montreal Canadiens. And finally, of course, you have greatness inside of you. Have an amazing, great, blessing day, everybody. I look forward for the next video with the coach, Coach Frenchy. Bonne journée, mes amis. Merci d'avoir regardé une autre vidéo avec l'entraîneur Coach Frenchy. Je vous invite, n'oubliez pas de vous inscrire, de vous abonner et certainement de cliquer sur le petit pouce en haut si vous avez bien aimé la vidéo. Et finalement, dites-moi ce que vous pensez de la performance de Montréal hier contre les Blues. Bonne journée, mes amis. On se reparle un peu plus tard pour la prochaine vidéo avec l'entraîneur Coach Frenchy.